Okay, I'm going to get as much of this video as I can get done before bells start ringing and announcements start happening. If that happens, I'm just going to pause while they talk and then I'm going to continue. Alright, so a rotation is a turn. It's like you take the figure and you turn it. Okay? So, in a rotation, the figure rotates at a specific I don't know what this, I think at a specific point and degree. Rotations result in congruent figures. Our center of rotation, we're always going to rotate about the origin this year. Okay? Doesn't have to be around the origin, and in future math classes it won't always be around the origin, but for this year it's going to be about the origin. Alright? When we talk about our rules for rotation, we're talking about counterclockwise. So we have our coordinate plane. This is Q1, this is Q2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. Okay? When we're talking about rotating in our counterclockwise rules, clockwise goes this direction, just like we count the coordinate planes. This is counterclockwise. So the rules for a 90-degree counterclockwise turn, and 90 degrees is one turn, one quadrant turn. The rule would be our X and our Y. They're going to flip places. Okay, and then this first coordinate now is going to change signs. I'll show you what all this means in a minute. Alright, for a 180-degree turn, that's two turns. This is a 90 degree to the first quadrant, and then two turns for 180 degrees. The rule is this. Everything's just changes signs. That's the easy one for rotations. For 270, that would be three turns. This is 90 degrees, 180, 270. That's three turns. The rule would be this. Your X and your Y are going to change places, and this time the second coordinate is going to become negative. We kind of teach you to remember it. 90-degree turn, the first coordinate turns negative. 270-degree turn, that's bigger, so the second coordinate turns negative. Alright, so let's put this into action. 90 degrees counterclockwise turn. Here's the way I always do this. I take each of my points and I just flip the numbers around. Instead of 3, 7, I'm going to write 7, 3. Instead of 8, 1, I'm going to write 1, 8. And instead of 1, 2, I'm going to write 2, 1. It's a 90-degree turn, so that means that the first coordinate, the first number now, is going to change signs. So this is negative, negative, and negative. These are my new points. Right? So the way this is going to look is 3, 7 is right here. 8, 1 is right here. And R is at 1, 2. 1, 2. So here's my original triangle. Now, my rotated figure, it's going to change orientation. It's going to stay the same shape and the same size, but it is going to change orientation. It's not just a slide. Alright, so P prime is going to be at negative 7, 3. So I'm going to go to the left 7 and up 3. There's P prime. I'm going to go for Q. I'm going to go to the left 1 and up to the 8. There's Q prime. And R is at -2, 1. There's R prime. So, connect the figure. There's those bells that I was talking about. So basically, if I took this figure, I wish I had some patty paper here, and I don't. Let's see. So if I took this figure and I rotated it, it would land right here. Okay? Look at number 2, 180 degrees. And 180 degrees doesn't matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise. If I make 2 turns, watch this, if I do 2 turns, here's a 90-degree turn, and here's a 180-degree turn, so it ends up this direction with my long side facing that direction. Now if I go the other direction, if I go clockwise with my turn, there's 1 turn, 2 turns. I'm still facing the same direction with my triangle, so that's why it doesn't say counterclockwise or clockwise. Alright, so the rule says that everything just changes signs. Nothing changes, flips places, but everything just changes signs. So, this is going to be -2, -3, -5, -8, -7, -6, -8, -2. And then, if I graph my original figure, 2 and 3, that's W, 5 and 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and then 8. That's X. 7 and 6 is right here. That's Y. And 8 and 2 is right here. So we've got this figure right here. Alright, my rotated figure is going to be in this quadrant somewhere because this is a 90-degree turn, this is a 180-degree turn. 2 turns. So I'm going to do -2, -3 for W prime. -5, -8 would be 3, 4, 5. There's X prime. -7, -6 would be right here. That is Y prime. And -8, -2 would be right here. That is Z prime. So my figure looks like this. So if I took this paper and turned it twice, I'd get the same looking figure. It's just been turned. Okay, same shape, same size, it's just been turned. This was Z. Okay, 270 degrees counterclockwise would be, going to flip the X and the Y, but I'm going to change the sign on my second number. So, I'm going to flip 4 and 2, and I'm going to make this negative. I'm going to flip 5 and 6 to 6, 5, make this negative. I'm going to flip okay. I'm not going to take the time in the video to continue to draw both figures, but then same thing, It looks like this one is all positive, so the figure is going to start off here in this quadrant, and I do 270-degree turn. This is 90, 180, 270. It's going to end up in this quadrant somewhere. Okay, I'm going to skip another 180-degree turn. I want to do some with some negatives. All right, 90 degrees counterclockwise turn. So, 90 degrees counterclockwise turn, that means that they're going to flop places, and it means that the first number is going to change signs. All right, so I'm going to write my numbers exactly the way they are and just flip the places. Okay, but now the first number has to change signs. So I'm going to change these to positives. And these are my new numbers. Okay? All right, 270 counterclockwise. I'm going to flip the X and the Y, but this time my second number is going to change signs. So I'm going to leave them the way they are because it gets confusing otherwise. I'm just going to flip-flop them the way they are. And then I'm going to change the sign on the second number. So if this is negative, it becomes positive. All right. Let's do, the 180s are pretty simple. Let's do another 270. That means that they're going to flip places, but the second number is going to change signs. So I'm going to leave the numbers like they are. I'm just going to flip-flop them. And then the second number needs to change signs. So this becomes a positive, positive, and a positive. Okay? Number 9, 90 degrees counter. That means they're going to flip-flop. But the first number this time is going to change signs. So I'm going to leave the numbers the way they are and just flip them around. Now the first number needs to change signs. So I'm going to change this to a positive and this to a positive. Okay, I'm going to do this one. I'll do one more 180. I guess I can do both the 180s. They just change signs. So this is positive, positive. Right? 180 degrees just means that they change signs. So if this is, remember this is the rule, so if this is already negative, it becomes positive. Okay? Negative 7, 0, 6, positive 5, that should be negative 6, excuse me, and negative 2, positive 7. I'll grab a couple more of these just to show you what the rotations look like. I'll do the triangles because they're only 3 coordinates. Alright, so CDE is at negative 8, negative 1. There's C. D is at 0, negative 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's D. And E is at negative 7, negative 6. So there's E. So, connect these points. Bye. And then I'm going to plot the image. So negative 1, 8 would be down here. That's C prime. Negative 5, 0 would be 5, and negative 6, 7. Wait, something's not right. Oh, this is positive 8, excuse me. Thought it didn't look right. This is D prime, and then negative 6, 7.
Bus 217, bus 203,
Right there.
please head to the bus ramp. Bus 217.
So here
bus
is the
203, head to the bus
rotated
ramp.
image. Sorry for all the bells and stuff. It is what it is. 270 degrees. This is a 90-degree turn, 180-degree turn, 270. It ends up in this quadrant. All right, I'll do this other one with the triangle. So our original is at negative 4, 0. Here's T. Negative 1, negative 2. There's U. And negative 8, negative 7. There's V. Alright. Now I'm going to plot the image. 0, negative 4. Is right 1, 2, 3, 4. D prime. 2, negative 1 is right here. That's U prime. And 7, negative 8 is right here. And that's V prime. So we get this image right here. So a 90-degree turn, that's one turn, so you go from this quadrant to this quadrant. All right, same shape, same size, the figure has just been turned. And that's all I'm going to do for this lesson.